What's up everybody, welcome to the video. Hope you're having a fantastic evening. Now tonight I am here with the GX 550 from Lexus. This is the Luxury Plus, basically fully loaded. And tonight we're going to be taking a look at all the different lighting elements of the vehicle, the way the exterior lights look at night, as well as the interior. So let's get into it. So the first thing I want to go over is what happens when you approach the vehicle. So I have the key fob in hand. Now we're going to walk up to the vehicle. And I do have to say it's very anticlimactic, except you get the puddle lights that come on the mirrors, which are folded. And as far as the rest of the car, well, that's about it. But this does have keyless entry, so when you put your hand on the back of the door handle, the lights come out. And when you open the door, we have an illuminating light at the bottom of the door. We have the illuminated aluminum door sills with the Lexus logo. That's really nice. And then we have the power retractable running boards that come out. Now, as long as you have the headlights on auto, the daytime running light will come on when you open the door, and the light bar in the back will come on too. But now let's just get in, start it up, turn on the headlights, and then talk more about them. All right, so this GX has really nice lighting at nighttime. So first let's talk about the headlights. So this is Lexus's triple beam LED setup. So we have 3 different projector beams there in the housing, and there's a 4th beam off to the side here. That is your high beam. We have a really thick daytime running light that sits there in the middle of the housing. This model is also equipped with the washer. That's what's inside this little door right here. If you take this out on a trail or your lights just get really dirty, there's a nozzle that shoots out of here and basically shoots washer fluid at your headlights to clean them up. Now switching over to this side to show the turn signal, it's in the same housing as the other lights, but it's down at the very bottom. So you have the daytime running light in the middle, the low beam, high beam up top, and then your LED turn signal down below. Down at the very bottom, we have these nice LED fog lights. They're very bright. And what makes these different is this little light over here. So this is called a cornering light. As you can see, I have the wheel turned to the right. And when you turn the wheel, whatever side you're turning the wheel to, this additional light comes on to illuminate the road in the direction that you're turning. That's a very useful feature. Haven't really come across that on anything else I've covered, at least. And now on the side of the vehicle, you can see we have this really tall upright LED turn signal built into the mirror. These are power folding mirrors with the LED turn signal indicators. They do have a puddle light, but that only comes on when the car is off. So you saw earlier when I walked up to the car how the puddle light came on, so that comes right out the bottom of the mirror. And now here in the back we have this really wide LED light bar that serves as both the tail light and the brake light. I like how it's just one big bar, it looks really cool. I also really like the way the light kind of shines off the spelled out Lexus logo right above it. And just like the ones up front, we have LED turn signals in the rear. And the last bit of lighting we have on the exterior is the lights above the license plate. They are LED, so it's nice and bright, fully legible, no issues there. And now to head back into the cargo area, this does have a hands-free lift gate, so we just kick our foot right underneath the right side, and then the tailgate lifts right on up. So we don't have any dedicated lighting for the cargo area, but we do have the dome light in the 3rd row, so that is what comes on when you open the tailgate. As you can see behind the 3rd row, not much usable space for cargo. It's only 10.3 cubic feet of space. This tiny little section underneath the floor here, there's some recovery tow hooks and a front license plate frame in there, and that's about it. Oh, I actually misspoke before. We have these tiny little lights in the corner, so you can see how it's illuminating that optional first aid kit that we have in this one, and that same little light is on the other side. So there is lighting in the cargo area, very small though, these tiny little LEDs. That is pretty bright though, I will say. All right, off to the right side, we have a full-sized home power outlet, 120 volt with a 3rd prong. And then we have our controls here to drop the 3rd row seats. So if you want to drop them down, you press and hold. Unfortunately, it's not one touch. You do have to press and hold the entire way down, and it's kind of slow. But anyway, after dropping down the third row seats, you now have 40.2 cubic feet of space. So a lot more usable space here. But if you're gonna have more than 5 passengers, you are gonna need to have these third row seats up. And since this has the captain's chairs, this can only, in this configuration, can only seat 6. If you had a lower trim level without the captain's chairs, this could seat 7. And there is no way to drop down the second row seats from the cargo area, so we do have to go around to the back seat. And to drop the second row seats, there's a small lever right here that we pull forward. And then the seat, you can either have it go flat or you can have it go all the way up. So for this, I'm just gonna have it down like that. So we just have it folded in half. And this right here is the optional cargo cover that I removed because you can't have it up with the third row seats up. So if you have third row passengers or those seats up, you can't have this in. So this only works if you have just the second row up. So now with all the seats folded down, you can see we have a ton of room. This is 76.9 cubic feet of cargo space. And so now we're gonna head back into the interior. Wow, I must really be losing my mind because I almost forgot to mention the independent opening here in the glass. So over here on the left corner of the glass, there's a small button. We hit that button, you heard the glass pop up, and now this little pull tab right here, you pull that up, and now you have a quick entry into your trunk if you just need to throw something in there real quick and not have to open up the entire tailgate and wait for that, because this opens nice and fast on its own. Now we just close it. All right, so now I've gone to a darker area of the parking lot so that we could really see how good the lighting is on the interior. Power running boards, like I said before. All right. All right, so now we are inside the GX 550 at night. I want to go over all the different illuminations of the buttons, the ambient lighting, and everything else in here. All right, so first I want to start up top here. These are the controls for the dome lights, which will turn on. So you can see those are plenty bright, fully illuminates the interior, no problem. So I'll turn those back off now. But up here you have the controls for the shade that covers the panoramic glass, the control for the panoramic glass itself. It can either be fully transparent or you can have it frost up like that. So that's fully transparent and frosted. I think that's really cool. This button that says door just controls whether or not you want the dome lights to come on when you open and close the door. And then you have an emergency call button right there in red. When you fold down the visor and slide the little trap door open, you have the mirror, but you do get a very bright light underneath that visor. Next, I want to point out the ambient lighting because it is a little bit hard to see sometimes. It's like very, very subtle. It's in a few places. It's not that bright, but let's go over it. So I currently have the color set to blue. You can see here on the dashboard, we have it illuminating kind of from underneath, pointed upwards. And then over here on the door panel, there's a small little light on the top of like the inside of where the door handle is. And then there's a little nook here in the door panel, and the light is kind of recessed up into it, so it shines downward onto the wood grain here. We get the same thing on the driver's side, and then we get the same thing on the door panels in the second row as well. And you can adjust the color, so you can see we have all these different color options here. I always like to have it on blue. You can also customize and have, I guess, different zones of different colors at the same time. But let's switch to green here, hit OK. This one's called Rainforest. See if you want to make it a nice bright red. Got flare red. Hit OK. Now it's red. And let's go for a nice like nightclub purple. Let's see. Meteor. Hit OK. All right, purple. We're vibing. So that's as far as the ambient lighting goes on the upper. And now down below, we have a little bit here on the center console, and then down in the footwells in the front seats. Now let's go over the lighting on the center console. So here at this part on the top, these are the two USB-C ports, and they are illuminated so we can see them nicely at night. We have the drive mode selector, and when you use that drive mode selector, you get these really cool animations that pop up on the digital gauge display. And then on the transmission selector here, park illuminates in blue. We have red for reverse, neutral and green, and drive in blue, and manual mode also in blue. Moving down, we have our electronic parking brake, brake hold. This does have full-time four-wheel drive, so we have our high 4, low 4, and center locking differential. In here we have our cup holders, and that light from the console here kind of shines into the cup holders, so that looks nice. Inside the center console, no additional lighting in there, but the button here for the cool box is illuminated, so you can refrigerate items inside the center console. And then inside the glove box, we do have a tiny little LED light up top, so that's nice. All the window controls and stuff on the door panel are backlit. The ambient lighting does help illuminate it a little bit more, but we have automatic up down for all 4 windows. Of course, lock, unlock, and our mirror controls. Now let's look at the steering wheel. The controls on the wheel are also backlit, so that's what they look like off. And then on the left side, we have our volume control, phone button, back button, voice command, and the toggle to go through the digital gauge display. And then on the right side, we have our mode button. This is rewind, fast forward, and our lane keep assist and adaptive cruise control buttons. Now up top here in the center, we have this beautiful digital gauge cluster, very highly customizable. So what I can do here is if I hit hold to customize here, I can set all different things for the 3 zones. We have the left side, the middle, and the right. So on the left side, I can have it show drive info, traction monitor, pitch and roll for off-roading, trailer brake, auxiliary gauges, engine, transmission oil temperature, a turbo gauge, G-force meter. You can have it blank. You can have it show your fuel economy, eco indicator, driving support, navigation, and audio. In the middle, we have the map. We have map 2, blank, driving support, and back to map 1. Between map 1 and map 2 is just bigger and kind of takes away the gauges. I'll leave it in map 1. And then on the right side, it's pretty much the same as the left. Turbo gauge, G-force meter, blank, fuel economy, eco indicator, driving support, navigation, audio, drive info, traction monitor, pitch and roll, turbo gauge, G-force, or blank. Up top, we do have a digital rear view mirror. So we have a camera on the back of the car that points outward. It's independent from the backup camera, but if you have, tall passengers in the back. And now here in the center is this massive 14-inch infotainment touchscreen. A lot of great functionality, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Lexus and Toyota both have really streamlined their infotainment software so that there's only this little menu on the left side of the screen instead of a traditional home screen. It's all just right there. This GX 550 Luxury Plus has a 21 speaker Mark Levinson audio system. Let's take a quick listen. This button right here automatically brings up your camera system. So we have this crazy looking 3D model 360 camera system. So it spins around, you can show your surroundings. It's not the best system. It's not like BMW or Hyundai Genesis. Those have a really good system. This one's not quite on par. When we throw it in reverse, the 360 on the top down angle is pretty good. Not the clearest, but not too distorted. So that angle is pretty good. And then your backup camera resolution is all right. Looks better in the daytime, obviously, but at night it's okay, but not great. And now we're gonna head back into the second row. All All right, so like I said before, in the second row, we have that same ambient lighting as up front. We have the strip that's kind of hidden up here, and then a little light up here in this door handle area. We do have manual sunshades on in the second row of the GX. You can see how nicely that outside light illuminates into the second row. Now over here is where we have the dome lights for the second row, quite bright. So I'm gonna turn those on now so we can see. As far as legroom in the back seat, I have this adjusted for myself at 6 feet tall, and I'm sitting right behind it. I only have there's a little cutout in the seat to give you like an extra inch. So I have maybe about 2 inches to spare there. There's a pocket behind each seat back. Now, the one drawback to these captain's chairs is that they are not adjustable. You can't move them forward or back. They are fixed in place. They have this like thick plastic underneath that just anchors it. So there's no way to move the seats forward and back. You can recline them with the little lever that we used before to fold them down, but that's it. You can't slide them forward or back. So you're at the mercy of the front passengers. They are not feeling generous and don't want to give you legroom, then I guess you're shit out of luck. So down here we have a control center for the AC, and we have heated seats in this second row on the captain's chairs. You can control the temperature, the mode or zone rather. You can have automatic mode. You can turn it off and adjust the fan speed. We do have a pretty considerable hump here in the middle and this thick plastic here. No flat floor, and we got 2 cup holders here in the middle. Up top, while I have the light on, you can see on each side we do have an air vent. All right, so now I'm back in the third row. I'm gonna keep that the way it is, but now I'm sitting behind the second row. And I guess the beauty of this not being able to slide forward or back is now I actually have a good amount of room. Actually better room than I had in the second row. So here I have maybe 3 or 4 inches of legroom to spare instead of 2. The only drawback is that the seat is like very low in relation to the ground, so your knees do kind of sit up high, but at least you do have legroom, so that is a plus. And what else we have here in the third row? We have a USB-C on both sides, as well as this little recliner button, which is you can recline the seat maybe about 2 inches both directions, so that's a interesting button to have. So again, on this side, the recline button and the USB-C. And then you have your second row dome lights and your third row dome light here. So that's gonna wrap up this night review of the Lexus GX 550 Luxury Plus. If you enjoyed this video, please share with a friend and subscribe. It'll really help the channel grow. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Let me know down in the comments what other vehicles you want to see on the channel next, and be sure to follow @Optical Automotive on TikTok and Instagram, and check out the page on Facebook. And a big thank you to Lexus for sending me this GX. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys later.